Something that the U.S. has never mentioned that I can recall out loud. We've talked about it. Plenty of people have talked about it. The collaboration or corruption, right? Now, we like to talk about other countries. We know America's corruption and America's, that's deep. But they don't want to talk about that. That's not the part that we're talking about, right? The part we're talking about is Mexico. Seems in a press conference, the White House accuses Mexico of alliance with the cartels. Mexican president condemns slanderous allegations. Tensions escalate as Mexico rejects U.S. allegations, arguing that the American arms trade plays a key role in strengthening criminal groups. A Mexican soldier stands ground next to some graffitis of the rug trafficker Mayo Zambada and the criminal group Cartel de Sinaloa in Palmas Altas village, Jerez del Garcia Salinas Municipality, Zacatecas State, Mexico on March 14th. God, y'all could have recruited some better graffiti writers. Boldo could have hooked y'all up with some better graffiti writers, man. Fernando knows where they at. Get some good graffiti writers out there. Let's get it. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum angrily responded to allegations issued by the White House accusing the Mexican government of collaborating with rug cartels. Sheinbaum accused the White House of slander and suggested that if there is any such alliance, it exists in the gun shops of the United States that sell high-powered weapons to these criminal groups. On Saturday, the White House published a fact sheet explaining President Donald Trump's 25% tariffs on all imports from Mexico, Canada, and China, which are set to go into effect on February 4th. The document claimed the economic sanctions are meant to address the extraordinary threat posted by illegal aliens and rugs coming from the sanctioned countries, detailing each country's participation in the border crisis. In addition, the Mexican rug trafficking organizations have an intolerable alliance with the government of Mexico. That's the White House saying out loud, pointing the accusatory finger. All right? Pointing the accusatory finger at the Mexican government. Right there, out loud. We've been talking about, are they going to send troops? Are they going to send, the Wuha super soldiers out there to go take care of these cartels? We've been asking that question. We've been hearing about it. They've been talking about it. But now they're pointing the accusatory finger directly at the Mexican government. The White House said, adding that the government of Mexico has afforded safe havens for cartels to engage in rug trafficking activities, which collectively have led to the overdose unalivings of hundreds of thousands of American victims. President Sheinbaum responded swiftly via her official X account, rebuking the allegations and emphasizing the United States' role in fueling Mexican rug cartels. We categorically reject the slanderous accusation made by the White House against the government of Mexico, alleging alliances with criminal organizations as well as any interventionist intent in our territory. If such an alliance exists anywhere, it is in the gun stores of the United States that sell high-powered weapons to these criminals, as demonstrated by the U.S. Department of Justice itself in January of this year. Sheinbaum highlighted the more than 40 tons of rugs seized by the Mexican government in recent months, including 20 million doses of FettyWap, claiming that the answer to continuing rug combat operations lies in coordination and not subordination. Tariffs are not the way to solve problems. Rather, they should be addressed through dialogue, as we have done in recent weeks with the U.S. State Department to address migration on our end, with full respect for human rights, she said. Sheinbaum added that the country is moving forward in implementing Plan B, which included both tariff and non-tariff measures to protect Mexico. So that was day one, day two of that situation, right? The United States pointed the finger at the Mexican government and said, y'all are in cahoots with the cartels. And the Mexican government said, y'all are in cahoots with the gun manufacturers and dealers. And everybody was pointing fingers. Mexico's mad, China's mad, Canada's mad about the tariffs, right? All right. Big threatening finger, if you ask me, that the U.S. pointed at Mexico. Unsolicited? Probably not. They had it coming. They probably had it coming for generations. My first thought was, man, the U.S. feels ballsy enough to say this, and they're willing to point the finger. They must have got some new solid information. Can anybody guess where I first originally thought that maybe they got some more information from? Can y'all let me know in the chat who you think I think they got their information up from that makes them bold enough to point the finger and talk that shit? I mentioned it to someone I was talking to last night. I said, you think this is coming from here? And they said, well, the writing's been on the wall. You got the Garcia Luna situation. You got these situations where the United States has gone up in there and snatched up people and had to give them back, like it happened a couple years ago, right? First thing I said was, what's up, man? You think Mayo's giving them something that, got them real bold to point their fingers? And the person was like, nah, I don't know. Possible, but, the writing's been on the wall. Again, Garcia Luna, all of this. And then, today, right before this live stream, I had already picked what I was going to talk about. I was already on this road. I said, man, what if Mayo's over there being a songbird, you know what I'm saying? Giving them the real goods, the shit that they've been wanting, the shit that they needed that made it worth their while, that they're going to give the Chapitos 10 days in jail. Time served. Get out of here. You did us good. And then I saw this. El Mayo Zambada delivered a narco encyclopedia. Huh? He gave a narco encyclopedia. Remember the encyclopedias, the Britannicas? They be all on the bottom shelf collecting dust. You know what I'm saying? In that big ass cabinet, they were like this. They cost an arm and a leg. People got bad credit over it. Hit the like button, y'all. Zambada's revelations to U.S. authorities could be linked to recent statements from the White House. There it goes. Well, I linked them shits the moment I heard them White House statements. But it's not a hard thing to link, right? It's easy. I'm not giving myself too much props. New York. From former Mexican President Carlos Salinas de Gortari to the recent Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the legendary rug trafficker Ismael El Mayo Zambada has compiled a real narco encyclopedia Britannica where presidents, governors, mayors, businessmen, journalists, rug traffickers, and other personalities have paraded through his hand for one reason or another. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Where's all the nut huggers? Can we get nut hugger emojis in the chat, bro? Where's all the nut huggers at, huh? Say it ain't so. Are they snitching? They snitching. Huh? They snitching? Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? I thought there was no snitching. What happened to no snitching? Huh? I thought he was the most stand-up man in the world that would give himself up to get a deal for his children. Huh? I thought the twins was out of pocket for snitching. Huh? So is there a list of who's out of pocket for snitching and who's in pocket for snitching? Because it sounds like the most untouchable of all untouchables is singing like a birdie. Singing like a birdie. And people be, man, fuck you, I hope you die. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Because your hero's a snitch? Because you swore he would never do that? Come on, go write a corrido about it, bro. The corrido writers are going to be crying today and shit, you know what I mean? No hugger emoji. No, we gotta give HG her props. Hold on. Hug. There you go. Boom. There we go. No hugger emojis. Bow. Say it ain't so, y'all. He telling, not just telling. What if he turns out to be the biggest snitch in history? Huh? What you think? They're gonna stop telling his story? They're not gonna make movies about him? Because he snitched? They're gonna make more movies about him now. Huh? What you think? They're gonna stop writing the corridos for him? You think that if he were to do interviews tomorrow, huh? People are gonna not interview him? But motherfuckers Will be in my chat talking about, Shy, why you giving rats opportunities? But he was your hero yesterday. He was your hero yesterday. But today, he did what he did, and now you mad? Or you not mad? Which one is it? Are you picking and choosing? Am I wrong? Miss me with the picking and choosing, bro. Y'all said no snitching. This is the boss of all bosses. Snitching it up, giving an encyclopedia. Narco encyclopedia where presidents, governors, mayors, businessmen, journalists, drug traffickers, and other personalities have paraded through his hands for one reason or another. Notice how all the corrido singers have been quiet around Sinaloa. No new corridos for your superheroes because they got to see who wins the fight. They got to wait because they don't want to make the wrong song and end up on the chopping block. The contents of that encyclopedia are now in the hands of the United States authorities. Since his kidnapping and eventual handover to U.S. authorities, Ismael has had enough time to recover his health, thanks to an addiction recovery program and medical treatment in prison. Aha! He was doped out, huh? Your superhero was a custody? He was getting high on his own supply? Look at you now. Since his kidnapping and eventual handover to the U.S. authorities, Ismael has had enough time to recover his health, thanks to an addiction recovery program and medical treatment in prison, to reflect on what happened, but also to tell the U.S. authorities little by little about negotiations, agreements, favors, and payments. Not to members of rival cartels. Sources confess that he has not given information about enemies, but to members of the Mexican political class. Hold on. Authorities little by little about negotiations, agreements, favors, and payments, not to members of rival cartels. That he hasn't given information about his enemies. So is he doing the, was it the Frank Lucas? They just wanted him to, only, you know, he was like, I only snitched on cops or some shit. Huh? Is that what we're doing? He's not telling on his enemies, but only on members of the political class so far. With the chronological order, but rather, as those memories come to his mind, Zambada, without a chronological order, but rather as those memories come to his mind, Zambada has started with the most recent, the 6-year terms of Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, and the most recent, the administration of the governor of Sinaloa, Ruben. Shout out Upper Echelon on the check-in. He said, wait, boss is Snitch? Evidently. You don't think Mayo was addicted to anything? I don't know, man. Maybe he got a lot of pain since the last time you saw him and he got addicted to something. It's easy. Doctors do it to people all the time. Some people addicted and don't even know it. Most recent, he started with the 6-year term of AMLO, and the most recent, the administration of Governor of Sinaloa, Ruben Rocha Moya. That man isn't negotiating shit. If any of this is credible, then why is Trump negotiating with Claudia? Because you could two bitches at the same time in life. No? That's not a thing. Get what I want from this one, get what I want from that one, all at the same time. We saw the White House point the finger at Mexico and say, y'all are corrupt. We saw Mexico point the finger back and say, y'all are gun runners. And now we hear about what I thought from the beginning. The moment I heard that they were pointing the finger saying y'all are corrupt, I said, oh, Mayo's giving them some good information. Maybe it's all a circle jerk, right? Maybe he is giving them information, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. Who knows? But that was my first thought. Then, next morning, information, Mayo's Encyclopedia Brown, right? Cool. Then, Mexico reaches deal with U.S. to delay tariffs. President Trump said he would pause tariffs on Mexico for a month, but levies on Canada and China were still set to take effect on Tuesday. Mr. Trump and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada are expected to have their second call of the day shortly. President Trump on Monday accused Canada of treating the United States poorly before he was scheduled to talk to the country's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau about the aggressive package of levies he vowed to impose on crucial American trade partners on Tuesday. You know, think about that. It's like let's take the migrant workers off the fields, stop the food, and let's stop all of these other trades with these other countries. It's like, at what point are we going to be suffering? Oh, the whole way through. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I was trying to understand it. Partners on Tuesday, Mr. Trump struck in an aggressive posture during remarks in the Oval Office suggested that the United States did not need Canada to make cars or supply with lumber, and saying once again that he would like to see it become the 51st state. That's invasion talk. You know what I'm saying? You threatening people's shit. Like, the call with Mr. Trudeau, as well as talks he expects in the next 24 hours with Chinese leader Xi Jinping, whose country is also a target of Mr. Trump's, will follow a deal reached with Mexico, reached for a temporary reprieve from the tariffs, which stirred fears of a far-reaching trade war that have roiled markets around the world. President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico struck the deal for a one-month delay of Mr. Trump's 25% tariff after the two countries reached a series of agreements on border security, including a promise by Mexico to send 10,000 more troops to the border. Okay, so they're sending aid and assist. They're sending help to America, to the border to hold shit down. The agreement came 2 days after Mr. Trump also announced tariffs on 25% against Canada and 10% against China. The president said he would impose the tariffs until the countries alleviated the flow of migrants and rugs, particularly FedEx, to the United States. While Mr. Trump included a partial carve-out for Canadian energy and oil experts, he acknowledged over the weekend that his tariffs, which covered countries that account for more than a third of the products bought in the country, could cause some pain for consumers. So Trump's already letting you know that, hey, you're going to take all of this and you're going to like it, right? We're going to be better for it. We're going to be greater for it. No mames. So he knows there's going to be some pain for y'all. Mr. Trump also spoke earlier Monday with Trudeau, whose country has already announced retaliatory levies of 25% on U.S. goods. China, for its part, has vowed to file a case against the United States at the World Trade Organization and take corresponding countermeasures. So we're basically in a Cold War that's not so cold no more. Now we're playing money games. It's an economic war. No? Am I wrong? We're at war with everybody. In response to tariffs that could raise the cost of online goods. Oh, man, your Amazon bill's already through the roof, people. Ahora sí te la van a cagar.
Yo vivo tranquila con los pelos. Cállate, hijo.
Mexico's reprieve. Miss Seidelbaum said during a news conference in Mexico City that she had reached the agreement with Mr. Trump after a very respectful conversation. Under the deal, Mexico received a 1 month delay and promise from the United States to help stanch the movement of there you go. See, like that's the thing. Y'all read this, some of y'all believe it, some of y'all, I don't believe none of it. To me, this is theater. This is theater. This is it. Oh, we made a deal. I'm going to send them, make sure that we stop some guns. They're going to make sure we stop some immigrants. Everybody's a happy family. We live to another day. That's what's going on over here. Under the deal, Mexico received a 1 month delay and a promise from the United States to help stanch the movement of hammers back over the border, Mrs. Seidelbaum said. Both leaders sounded optimistic on Monday. Seidelbaum says she was sure the coming month would yield good results, while Mr. Trump wrote in a social media post that he looked forward to taking part in further negotiations. Canada's response was a senior Canadian government official familiar with the call between Mr. Trump and Mr. Trudeau this morning was not optimistic about the possibility that Canada would be able to get a similar reprieve, saying that the situation was still in flux. Canada has released a list with hundreds of American goods from liquor to dishwashers that would face 25% tariffs starting Tuesday. The agreement between the United States and Mexico leaves, just understand, people, your life just shot up another 25%. Not to mention all the extra shit they're going to throw on that. But just be ready, or just know it's 25% and it's not around the corner. It's on your ass. All right? It's in your fucking bubble.
I'm in your bubble.
All right, hit the like button. The U.S. auto industry dodged the supply chain catastrophe after Mr. Trump's delayed tariffs on products from Mexico for at least a month. But automakers still face severe disruptions, and car buyers may see major price increases. It's crazy if he doesn't grant similar relief to Canada. Tariffs explained. Mr. Trump has insisted that his tariffs will not increase prices for American consumers. You just told us to expect a little pain. All right? What did Larry Hoover say? They turn you over, they try to put it in your ass. And if you move to try to keep them from doing it, they consider you rebellious. Mr. Trump has insisted that his tariffs will not increase prices for American consumers and that if anyone pays the cost, it will be other countries. But a review of how tariffs work suggests that is not the case. No, you're going to get screwed. Europe may be next. Mr. Trump signaled on Sunday that Europe could be his next target, telling the BBC that tariffs will definitely happen with the European Union and could come pretty soon. Here's what I don't understand about this whole presidency shit, right? So here's what's going to happen. You're going to have this guy, he's going to do all this tariff shit, maybe knock down, income tax, right? Federal Reserve and all that shit. Then when he's gone and the other side takes over, they're gonna just implement that shit. At the end of the day, who's the one that suffers? The kids in the divorce. Who's the kids? Y'all. And them are your daddies, and y'all love them too much. And it's gonna take a day that the American people want to kick in a fucking door or two. That's the only way that the shit gonna change. Otherwise, y'all are just chickens on their land. Period. But there it is. So the United States government pointed the finger of corruption at Mexico. Mexico said, "Fuck you. Y'all are the corrupted ones that sell weapons." Then they both sat down. They blew each other. They made a little deal to placate us. They said that they're going to do this, that, told us some bullshit. And now we'll see what happens in another month. It'll all stay on the news cycle and we'll be talking about it right here.